Hello, my gorgeous people. I'm really happy to see you again here. And let's talk today about the pros and cons of work of flight attendant. We'll make it simple, and I will share with you my honest personal opinion. It can be subjective in many points. However, there are some points which many cabin crew and ex-cabin crew would agree with me, I guess. So the first plus in this job, personally for me, I found the opportunity to travel to see the world. You get used to really wonderful over so much. You get used to the Thai massage in Bangkok, to go to the Niagara Falls in Canada, eat pizza in Italy, watch sambo show in Sao Paulo, and there are many other things that you're getting used to it. And once you get your roster, this excitement and that, okay, I'm going to this destination, I'm going to this destination, this is uncomparable, really. It's very different when you travel on your own, because here you have a limited time and you're trying to do your best to see the city, to try just to get best of this city or country. So the travel also opens your minds a lot, because when you're traveling as a passenger, yeah, as I mentioned before, it's different when you're traveling as cabin crew, because you're dealing personally with so many nationalities, with so many mentalities as well, and it's just open your mind so much that it's like I call it second education. It's you can be economist, you can be a teacher, doctor, but this is just another educational level, because it really opens your mind so much. You become an open-minded, you become very patient, you become tolerant to many things, and this job teaches you to have a mask on your face. Somebody can call it double face, and for somebody it can be maybe negative aspect, but I found that when you can keep smiling in a variety of situations, what can happen on board, even if it's negative situation, but you still keep smiling, you still keep your professional attitude. I think it's a really professional skill what you are getting, and this skill in life it can be very useful, and even in a personal life, in a professional life, in the future. I think that this is a really good benefit. So for me, this is the first reason why I joined this industry and airline. And for me, personally, for me, it's even more important than money. Money and salary, it's another very important aspect, because as I mentioned in previous video and also in my book, How to Become Flight Attendant in the Middle East, in UAE, I was mentioning that there is no taxes. Your company provides you accommodation, transport, very good insurance, and all this salary just goes to your pocket. So for many people, this is the first reason they join the airline, because it's the money you can save, you can do so many things, you can travel. Um, this is the main reason for many people. But yeah, as I mentioned before, for me it's a travel. Maybe I'm too romantic person, but it's up to everyone. Regarding the minuses, again, personally for me, the main minus it's night shifts. Night shifts, it's physical tiredness, because the time zone, night shifts, irregular scheduling. For example, you have three early morning flights, and then you suddenly have five another nights, or the whole night, or the whole month you're flying only during the nights. And for body is very difficult, so you need to take extreme care about yourself. You need to go to gym, needs to take a lot of vitamins in order just to maintain your health. So but after 2, 3, 4 years you feel this tiredness, and you feel that it somehow affects your mood, your attitude, so you need to take care about yourself even more. But I think that if there is no night shifts, for example, just no night shifts, then there are so many people who would stay for much longer time, because night shifts makes big difference, despite the fact that many cabin crew like specifically night shifts, because work is easier. um, Passengers are sleepy, you do service, but it's simplified service. So for some people it's easier, but it depends on preferences of everyone. Another minus maybe for somebody is that not ability to save the money, because again you have a good salary, and for some people they just spend all the money in layovers, buying Chanel bags, Dior accessories, and then there is no savings at all. But this is called also self-organization. So how you can organize yourself, and I would say that there are two extremes in this way, because there are some people, for example, they're spending all their salary, and after 7 8 years they don't have anything to in case of an emergency even. But there is another extreme when people join the airline just for savings. And even in a wonderful layover somewhere in Madrid, for example, they just stay 24 hours or 48 hours in the hotel room, and they do not leave the room. They just have a room service, or sometimes even not room service, sometimes just noodles or cereals. So I call this extreme because when you're having a close environment in an airplane, for example, 8 hours of close environment in airplane, then you're staying in your hotel room, it's make you a little bit not conscious, a little bit sick, and always tired, always sleepy, So I think that it's mandatory at least to go out, I don't know, to make a 3 rounds around the hotel, just the minimum things, but it should be. At the same time, we cannot judge these people because there are so many cases, and I know personally these people, especially from Philippines and from Asian part, that the whole their family depends on them. So, for example, I knew one Filipino girl, and her sister was studying in university, and she was paying for university. The brother, he went to private school. She was paying for it. She was covering the medicine for her mom. Her dad also was doing something with his job. He had the problems. She was covering this. So everyone depends on her. Plus, she got married, and her husband was in Philippines. And then they had a kid later on. So the whole their family depends on them, and we really cannot judge people who just saving the money because they all have a personal reasons for this. So everyone here in this place just for own personal reasons. I would say that this is the main. It's very big pluses and very big minuses, and this opinion is very subjective, in my opinion. But I hope that it gives you somehow the overall picture of this job, and it will help you maybe to make some decision regarding this. If you have any questions or you would like to talk about this, please let me know. Let's talk about this. I can answer any of your questions. Also in my book, as I mentioned before, How to Become a Flight Attendant in UAE, you can find a lot of answers, and there are so many really good stories which happened on my flight, so it can also gives you better opinion about this job, and I hope that you enjoy it.